If you're thinking about monetizing your skill set and you've been following my journey, or you're actually in the process of monetizing your skill set and you've actually fixed the launch date for when that product will go live, then this video is for you. Because if you are waiting until the launch date before you start talking about your product, then you might already be late. Because selling does not start when we actually launch that product to the world. It starts right before. And so as I'm in week 6 of my 8-week roadmap, it's time for me to start prepping my audience for my product. And my product is not even finished yet, but I want to start prepping and talking about it to my audience so that they kind of like are aware that something is coming that could serve them. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Adeyinka and I help working professionals monetize their skill set so that they're able to build a 6-figure business without having to leave their job. And right now, I am in the process of monetizing my business knowledge. And so I am walking you throughout the journey. I built out an 8-week roadmap and currently I'm in week 6. So it's getting closer to that D-Day. And I want to share with you some of the things that I am doing to prep myself for the launch. Okay. Now, many of you are probably thinking, okay, so if your product is not ready, why are you trying to sell the product right now? Why are you trying to sell an unfinished product? One thing you must realize is that you have to start prepping your audience ahead. Now, for me, I have a very small audience. My audience is not even probably aware of what I'm doing. Right now, they definitely see my videos. They know that I'm talking about business. I'm sharing some problems. And they kind of see that here and there, there's something happening, but they don't know what the end goal is, right? So to them, they're consuming my information. Sometimes they like it, sometimes they don't care. And so it's time for me to start directing them in a certain way. I want them to know that besides the fact I'm here sharing the problems that you probably are facing in your business, there is a solution to that problem. And I have something that can help you solve that problem. And so I'm not going to wait till the end of my 8-week roadmap to actually start talking about it. Right now, I want to get a bit more detailed into talking about that solution. And that's why this week is very crucial for me, because this week I have to then re-strategize in terms of the type of content that I want to give out there, because I want my content to be very intentional. I want people to know that there's a call to action that is coming their way. So if you're going through a particular problem, there is a solution that is coming their way that they can grab right away. And so it's important that if you are also in the process of monetizing your skill set, that you're not waiting till that end day, because nobody really knows us. Nobody cares about us. And so we don't want to wait till that finish line and they're like, hey, here we are. Here's my product. And they're like, what? What? I didn't know you were selling anything. Okay, so what are you selling? And now they then start taking the time to learn and uncover, and then time is going. Okay, so we want to be proactive and do things right up front. So here are 3 things that I'm going to be doing this week to ensure that I am putting my product in the minds of people. Now, one thing I am not doing, and I think it's very important, is this. I'm not going to be telling people, hey, I've got a product to launch. No, I'm not doing that. Okay, so don't do that. I am going to be sharing problems that my target audience is facing, right? That is the type of content I'm going to be creating. So I'm going to create content that speaks directly to their pain points. Now, why am I doing this? Because I want people to recognize that they have a problem. I want people to recognize that there's an issue. I want people to pay attention on their business and where the problem lies. Because sometimes people don't even know that a problem exists, right? They just know that something is not working, but they don't know why, right? So my target audience are small business owners. My goal is to help them build structured, scalable businesses that can run without them. So they have the freedom to do whatever it is that they like. They have that financial freedom and that time freedom. Now, so many small business owners today are overwhelmed. So many small business owners are solopreneurs that are doing everything themselves. And so they're overwhelmed. They don't have systems in place. They don't know how to delegate. For some that might even have maybe one staff that might be full-time, or let's say part-time, or whatever the case might be. And so it's very difficult for them to be able to grow. But they don't even realize that the reason why they're not growing is because they don't have the system in place. And so my content is going to be focused on helping them see that they have a problem. This is why you're stuck in your business, right? And my call to action will then be, hey, if you want to do something about being stuck, click the link in my bio, for whatever it is that I have. So I might be creating like a wait list for that product, or, be doing something else that I don't have that answer today. But I know that that is what I intend to do this week, right? So I want to talk more about their problem. I want to create that urgency in their minds. I want them to realize and be focused on that problem so that they see how big of a problem it is that they have. And once they see that problem that they have, then they start looking for a solution. And that's how I want to plant in their minds that I am the solution to their problem. Got it? Okay, so that's plan one. Now let's get over to plan two. Now, something else I'm going to be doing is I want to start sharing behind the scenes. Okay. And what I mean is this. So I'm building this product, right? I'm going to be sharing content about the problem that they have. Now, I want to share behind the scenes of what I am doing to solve that problem for myself and how I'm able to solve that problem for myself. Now, I'm not going to be releasing the solution that they're going to pay for, right? But I want them to know, right, behind the scenes in terms of like, oh, this is how she's working for our own business. This is how she's making things happen. This is how she is living the life so that they're able to see that there's a pathway and a solution to their problem. Because this person that has helped us to recognize our problem is sharing what she's doing on a day-to-day basis, how her business is running, how it's thriving, how it's being successful, right? So you see the problem, and then you see someone who is living in the present that you desire to live, right? So I'm sharing the problem and I'm showing behind the scenes of how I have built a structured business, how I've built a scalable business, how my business is successfully running without me, and how I'm able to enjoy time freedom and financial freedom. They're able to see it and connect to that. So that's the second thing I am going to be doing this week, right? Now, the third thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be giving value right now, right? So it's not until when you buy my product that you're going to get value from me. I'm going to be sharing, other valuable tips and strategies that can still help you free of charge as a small business owner to achieve your goal, right? That way, when people are able to get a feel of what I'm all about and the value that I can offer to them, it makes it easier for them to then buy a paid product, right? So that's my line of thought, right? In terms of like the things I want to do. And I'm going to be doing these things up until launch date so that way it becomes, second to nature. I get more comfortable talking about it. I'm talking about the problem. I'm showing behind the scenes of what they desire to have. And then I'm sharing many tips that is helping them right now, right here. So that by the time I launch the actual product, it's much easier for them to trust me. They've gotten value from me for free. And then they're certain that that paid product will be even more valuable to them. That's the approach. That's the strategy. Okay. So if you are in the process and you're actively building your product, I think it'll be great for you to employ this same strategy because I've used it before. It worked, and I'm using it again because I'm certain that it's going to work. And so definitely it's going to work for you if this is your first time. And if you're still looking around, you're yet to kickstart your own journey and you're just trying to learn so that when you eventually kickstart your own journey, I think you're in a brilliant space right now because that way you're able to see in real time how it's working for me. You're also able to learn from some of the mistakes I'm going to be making because I'm going to be sharing them on this channel so that way you have more information to kickstart your own journey. Now, one thing I want you to know before I wrap up this message is this. You don't need a big audience. And I've come to realize that. Because even sometime last week, two people reached out to me and were trying to engage me, asking me about, how I can help them. And I still don't have a large audience. Nothing much has changed in terms of my follower count. But people are beginning to see the impact that I'm making through the content that I'm creating and dropping from time to time. So I don't want you to think that maybe your audience might be the reason why you might not get, get a sale. Don't worry about that. You just do what you have to do. Keep putting yourself out there and things will work out in your favor. So if you're actively building your product just like me, it is time for you to start sharing. Put all of your worries aside, put all of your fears aside, and just go all in. It gets easier after you've gone all in. So I'm wishing you the best as I continuously wish myself the best. And I hope today's video was super helpful for you. I hope it gives you the drive and the energy to do what it's needed to launch that product. Wish you the best as usual. I love you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.